I like handhelds, and as you can see, I have quite a few of them, and I have even more games. I got pretty sick of just keeping them in a bag or stacking them on a shelf. Buying only box games is just not how I want to spend my money, so I did a little research to find a solution. Some people just use a little bin to flip through them, others put them in a binder like trading cards. My Life in Gaming made this video recommending you use a nail polish shelf to have them all lined up in rows. I hate all of these. I want my games to be on a shelf no matter what they look like. I like having a library of games with a whole bunch of spines in alphabetical order. Stone Age Gamer makes these things called bit boxes. When ordering my Neo Pocket game drive, mine came in one of their Game Boy ones, but with a little foam piece to fit that cart size. These are a step in the right direction, but are kind of pricey and too big for my taste. I'd have to make foam inserts and buy other cases for my different sized games. A lot of people do the same sort of thing with DS cases. These work well for GBA games, since earlier releases already have a slot for them. But yeah, they only work with GBA games. Turns out, you can use cassette boxes. I found this to be the best way to store and display these games. So here's a little PSA/tutorial on how to make them yourself. Enjoy. Materials you'll need. These will be linked in the description so people at the store don't have to give you that look when you play a video in public. Cassette boxes. On Amazon, I recommend these from Evolot's. The little spindle holders are easy to snip off. I got 100 of them, but they also come in 25 and 50. A paper cutter. You can grab one of these from Office Max. I got mine for about 20 bucks. You can use scissors, but this just works so much better. Paper. I recommend using some nice glossy photo paper. It makes your games look way more legit. You can also get this on your Office Max run. A printer. I'm sure you got one of these. You can use your basic plier to yank off the spindles, but for a more cleaner, efficient extraction, flush cutters. These are the best. You can get them at Home Depot. And that's about it. First thing you gotta do is make the cover art. I've whipped up a Photoshop template for this. If you don't have Photoshop, I heard that you can open .psd files in the free program paint.net with the help of some plugins. You can get 4 per page. The higher quality cover art, the better. You can use Google and check the large size option, but I recommend getting yourself an Emu Movies account and downloading from their super large database. They have tons of high quality media to use. All for free. By using the marquee tool, you want to get in there and cut out the Game Boy ridge on the side of the art. There may be a bit of the shadow left on there, but honestly, that doesn't bother me too much. If it bothers you, you can cut that out too. What does bother me is stretching the art all the way to fit the case. In the template, I've included this little box art guide so you don't have to stretch the art. Well, every scan is different, so you might need a few tweaks, but it should look fine. GBA games are a bit of a hassle. The front of the spine on those is curved, so it's a bit more difficult to fully cut it out. Plus, you might end up losing a little bit of the artwork. Sometimes the artists get funny and decide, wouldn't it be so wacky and cool if the logo dipped over the spine? I'm not the largest fan of Decapitation Birdo, so I just cut it out and have it dip over like this. For the border, I just go with whatever color the spine background is. And the spine background is the same color as the back of the box. For more obscure games, there might not be a scan of either of these out there, so you can just pick one, I guess. For the spine, grab the logo of the game and rotate it 90 degrees. Now for the part of the case with the little UPC tag, Nintendo logo, and seal of quality. Each game has a custom one, but honestly, I don't care that much. It would be way more work to do, and I'm not that particular. But if you are, go for it. These cases can look like however you want them to look like. You don't have to follow the guide. Alright, that's about it on the artwork side of things. Let's get printing. You can just use standard paper, but personally, I think it kind of looks like shit. You really want to get the premium photo paper. If you're going to be making more than a few of these, you just can't go wrong with this stuff. It is super high quality. I even used it for other repros and they look phenomenal. Just make sure you load it in your printer one sheet at a time. Once you've got your sheet printed out, you got to cut it up. You can use scissors, but those take forever. Plus, I've always been pretty bad at cutting with scissors, so I highly recommend getting one of these paper cutters. Like I said before, I got mine at Office Max for about 20 bucks, and I can't make these carts without it. It cuts perfectly and infinitely quicker, not to mention fun to use. Alright, prepping the cases. For Game Boy and Game Boy Color carts, you can snip off the bottom peg. For GBA, you don't have to do any snipping. The games will fit right in the middle. Game Boy Color Rumble carts won't fit. Same with the Game Boy camera, but I don't have one of those. I doubt WarioWare Twisted or Boktai will fit. Yoshi Topsy Turvy or Drill Dozer might fit if you snip the bottom peg, but I don't have any of these games, so I can't test it out. If you do and you're gonna do one of these, comment down below to see if they fit so others can know. Alright, you fold the templates, drop in your game, and there you go. But why stop at Game Boy? let's do Game Gear too. The thing about the Game Gear boxes is that there's so many different templates for them. I'm just gonna stick with the ones that came out in the US. Game Gear boxes are almost the same dimensions as the cassette case, so I find just stretching them out a little bit looks better than a tiny border. Like with the Game Boy boxes, I also recommend grabbing an artwork pack. For the earlier staircasey designs, you can recolor the inner card to the spine. On the later released striped boxes, I extended the stripes and threw a Sega logo there. Print, cut, snip, and boom. Game Gear boxes. These games are a pretty snug fit. I especially like how the stripe boxes look all lined up. I do love me some stripes. I also love the Neo Geo Pocket Color, so I have some cases for that too. Had to make this template myself. Again, Emu Movies box art and logos, drop it in, print, cut, snip. Like the last two, they look great. Wonder Swan games? With their protective cases, they just barely don't fit without snipping the other peg, and I don't want my games rattling around in there. Yeah, you can take off the case and they'll be pretty snug, but I don't recommend having the pins exposed like that. Currently, all my Wonder Swan games are already boxed, and finding high quality box art is kind of a challenge. So yeah, I find Wonder Swan cases to be kind of not worth it. Atari Lynx? I don't have a Lynx or a Lynx game, so I'm not sure these will fit. When I do eventually get a Lynx in a game, and if it does fit, I'll have a template for it. Pokemon Mini? Maybe. Like the Lynx, when I eventually get one of those, I'll see if they fit, and if they do, I'll post another template. And that's about it. I love having all my portable games looking this nice on a shelf. I found this project to be pretty fun, and it revitalized my interest in collecting for these consoles. Displaying my games really is a big part of the fun. Don't be afraid to experiment. Feel free to do whatever you want with my templates, or make your own entirely. If there's anything you'd like to share relating to this project, please feel free to leave a comment so others can have that info. If you want a great way to store and display your handheld games, you cannot go wrong with the cassette method. It's cheap, easy, and reliable. They'll make your collection look fantastic.